impact as the hero. But I have to say, I do like the initial build-up of the urn early on for most Spectres, because it means that you do get some nice kills. You know, you jump in, pop that urn, you've got yourself the dagger coming through as well. You do a lot of damage, and then you can just kind of leave.
Yep, you definitely can, though I definitely disagree with the statement that Spectral Step sounds better. It is obvious you haven't played World of Warcraft, not played the Rogue, because this is what it reminds me of. It was one of the last talents, I want to say, in the Burning Crusade, but maybe it was Wrath of the Lich King, so I forgot. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't say it well with MMOs. I've tried a few of them. I think the one that I got on with most was Final Fantasy 14. Which I do go back to from time to time, but yeah, World of Warcraft just couldn't get into it.
Okay. Definitely not the real gamer here. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna be carrying the show, Rob. We're still gonna be friends, anyways. Though the thing is, you know, even though you don't have the haunt to have vision, Zeus uses ulti and then you get the vision. Though I'm still afraid. How do you get the jump? How do you get the jump on the Shadow Demon and actually prevent him? It is gonna have to be the Panda. It is gonna have to be the Storm Panda that is sent there to lift him up into the air so that you can actually focus on some of the other heroes.
Yeah, we're gonna see a little bit of damage coming through here onto Violent. He tried to get in for the snipe, but Dominic was able to pick up the bounty rune, but the other three go the way of VP here, so a bit of protection coming out, but it wasn't enough to secure 2 runes here from Klim Sani4. And they will, it's not a massive difference, you know, but it's just a nice little bit of starting gold here. It means you get to those early items a little bit quicker on the side of VP.
It most definitely helps, and very scary thing is that the Weaver almost got the 4th rune, right? It was kind of close for him. Sure, it was a nicely placed dead shot coming up from Sweden Strong, but overall, it shouldn't be that easy to get all 4 of the runes.
And just looking across the lanes here, how do you expect this top lane to go? Because, double stomp coming out from Notice now as well. And we've got Saryush. What's he going to go for? He's going to go for the Disruption level 1. No Shadow Poisons to come out just yet, so not going to be able to stack up those free Shadow Poisons from the Stomp of Notice. But how easy does this lane get once the Centaur has that Vanguard up, which obviously the hero likes to rush into?
This is a farm lane. Obviously, the Spectre and the Grimstroke do have some kill potential, but not versus the Shadow Demon. It has to be a mistake from Virtus.pro for them to go down. And Virtus.pro doesn't have that much kill potential, but they have a lot of harass. So if Klim Sani4 would get careless, they still can die. Overall, though, I think farm trade with Notice probably coming out ahead as well. It's very easy to farm well with a Centaur.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on the lane. Looking into the mid lane, it looks like Zeus already out of mana here. Squadix, what did he start off with? He started off with the magic stick, probably going straight into, the 1 recipe already on his quick buy menu there as well. And that's going to be a quick bracer coming out for him now as well. So yeah, Squadix doing really well. And this is kind of the thing, right? That in this lane, once you have that point in the Heartstopper aura, you're going to get a lot of sustain coming out from that. Even at level 1, you know, as long as you get 2 kills, I think, on creeps, you are regenerating all the mana that you use for this Death Pulse.
I'm very surprised they went for the Zeus. At least laning-wise, it's not something that's gonna be easy. Sure, but there's a lot of heroes that do struggle versus the Necro in lane. But I guess they're thinking Zeus does well with the Spectre. We need some vision, but I would have been happier with a jump in the back hero, like, let's say, a Storm Spirit. We'll see if this can work, actually.
Okay.
Top lane, Ayush made a mistake.
Are they actually going to be able to get him here? He's going to try and get himself away from this disruption. Yeah, already used. He looks like he's going to get low. Uses that Fairy Fire. Notice he's trying to push Respect away, but Munkushi chasing down. And Saryush, he might go down for this one. He's a little bit faster. 7 seconds. He's going to try and play Ring Around the Roads. He's in the trees. 5 seconds on that disruption. Munkushi was that dagger. He's got it up in a second. Not going to have the vision to throw it out, though. And now Notice he's going to stand between him and Saryush. Saryush still going to be careful about that dagger flying through, but he does have a lot more health here. Only level 2 on the Spectre. So that Spectral Dagger only doing 70 damage. Shouldn't be enough now to get the kill on the Shadow Demon, especially with the disruption being up.
The second he uses the disruption is the second they start running towards him, right? This should be the play. Use the disruption, you run away. Don't try to play with your life. Oh, noticed?
He gets the stomp off. Yeah, Respect. Couldn't pop the Inkswell there. I like that disruption coming out onto the Spectre there as well. Just meant that Notice got a free Lotus out of that because there was no way to contest it because he was banished.
Yep. you can go forward. Also, Munkushi, very nice usage of the Spectral Dagger overall. Usually does hit both of them, stands really close to Noticed, which is something that the center wants, and then just uses the Spectral Dagger on the Shadow Demon. So it is efficiency in the lane.
He's taking across a look across the lanes as well. It looks like the Weaver not doing too bad. The Necrophos right at the top of the last hits, but Sweden Strong as the position 4. Is he enabling the Brewmaster here? Well, with 19 last hits, seems like he's doing a pretty good job. Colin comes out. Dominic going to be taking a lot of damage here. FNG has already used that charge. Is he going to be able to get himself away from this one? Has to walk through the silence here. Violent doesn't want to go on Dominic. Has that swarm. Sakuchi up in 4 seconds, but Dominic, he's fairly tanky with the bracer. 300 health left, though. It looks like they don't want to get too aggressive on him. Mid lane. Oh, he's mid lane. It's not even in the mid lane. It's being forced right back to the tier 2 tower here. Squadix, he's got the sustain. Just look at it. 2 points of the Heartstopper Aura, and he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to the Zeus. The Zeus has to go right back to base.
Yeah, Necro thinks this is what this hero does against most of the heroes that he plays against. But also, I want to go back to this bottom lane. You saw how low Dominic was. It just goes to show how strong of a spell the calling is when Dominic is super low and he can stand inside of it, and there's no way that you're killing him. He's just gonna win that fight. So you have to run away despite having 2 full HP heroes versus a 20% HP hero. It is just insane.
Yeah, looking at the top lane now as well. Inkswell comes out. Notice going to be taking a lot of damage. Has that Ring of Health here? Did he have the extra sustain? Sayush actually walked himself into the Inkswell, got himself a little stun, and Noticed looks like he's going to be okay again. Ring of Health. He's got a Shud Tango coming out now as well. 5 minutes in. I think this is the longest we've gone without a first blood.
Yeah, definitely. We have had a lot of starting fights in the games that we have previously casted yesterday, but doesn't seem to be the case today, unfortunately. Though we do have action, right? It's not like there aren't any attempts. And speaking of, with this rotation of the Spirit Breaker, an attempt for a first blood will finally be made.
I'm going to try and get the Disruption. Shadow Poison coming through now as well. Was that charge respect? He is going to be gone on here. So, like say, Team Spirit Breaker coming through. Going to be able to connect. Are they going to be able to do the damage onto the Grimstroke? Another Inkswell keeps them stunned up. They might just be able to turn onto him. Yeah, he's going to be caught out here, Munkushi. Do they have the damage to take him down? Was that one last charge? Till's 10 seconds away from this one. Sayush, he's got no more mana for the poison, but it's going to be a neutral? Holy crap. That was just absolutely calculated there by Munkushi.
Yeah, very, very calculated. The attack from the creep flying in, and at that moment in time, the Shadow Demon clenches his fists and activates the poison, and then he just dies. That's very unfortunate for Virtus.pro. Just goes to show that the neutral creeps are currently the ones that are winning this game. 0 kills on one side, 0 kills on the other. The only ones killing it is the small camp. Right? Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose it keeps the Necrophos off the lane for a little bit. So, I mean, only for a few seconds. So it's little victories. But on the bottom lane, they're going to try and make a move here onto Violent. Violent can get himself away from this one. Colin already used level 5 here, so he doesn't have the time lapse, but he isn't going to get in kill range. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, once again, the Zeus being forced back here. Chira Jr. had to use the Heavenly Jump away, and it looks like they might be able to try and turn this one around. Spirit Breaker going to get himself away. He is going to get low. One more Lightning Bolt, one more anything, and Chira, he picks up the first blood. Not what we were expecting from the Zeus with how well this lane's been going for the Necrophos, but just a little bit of a dive there from FNG, and he pays the price. Pretty big. This actually equalizes it. The Necro was bullying the Zeus for a very long time, and now that influx of gold, a pretty solid influx of gold, almost 400 for the Zeus, makes the lane pretty even. So this is very big for the side of Klim Sani4, and very nice read of the situation from Respect to be there in time. This also does give Grimstroke a lot of levels, which is incredibly important for this team.
Yeah, looking at Munkushi, just going to be able to get some solo XP. The Grimstroke was looking, but there's going to be the TPs in now. Noticed he might have strayed a little bit too far. Can he get himself away from this one? Going to be silenced up level 5, so he doesn't have that Stampede just yet. Respect. But you've got to respect how far that you know, if you push up that far, respect the TPs in. They do get the kill onto the Centaur, and Noticed again, just going to be a little bit of an overextension there, and it costs VP another hero.
Yeah, you start feeling like you cannot die from 2 heroes, and that is probably true. But then a 3rd hero comes in, and the thing is, the Zeus, his mana is coming back up, so the ulti will be available. I would not be surprised if they try to kill the Centaur again in the near future.
Yeah, bottom lane, Dominic taking a little bit of harass. Has Noticed got his Vanguard? Yeah, he did get it. out to him, so he's got some protection there. But yeah, maybe you've just got to be a little bit more careful, like say, respect the TPs, especially when you're solo, when the Shadow Demon had already rotated off. So maybe just a little bit of overconfidence here early on for VP. And there might be another rotation coming out now as well. Squadix going to get himself away from this, so Stampede's going to be used immediately. And Necrophos, even with the slow from the calling, just gets that move speed out. And Squadix here, he had to hustle.
Yeah, double usage from that Stampede. One to save the Necro, the other one to kill the Brewmaster in the bottom lane. So very nice usage of the ulti. He just got his level 6. If you look at him, he got it with that one last creep that died close to the tower. Instantly uses it. And I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a better usage of a level 1 Stampede that just makes sure that both of the lanes, both the mid lane and the bottom lane, do pretty well because of it.
Yeah, FNG going to go for the TP out, but the dead shot comes out here. FNG going to be getting low. Could he get himself out? He's got no charge here. Level 5, trying to use those stick charges. At least no. He doesn't even get to the bounce here. And Dominic going to be able to pick it up right after he gets the kill, just to rub it in a little bit into FNG. But again here, it seems like Klim, they've actually practiced. They know what they want to do with these picks. They've got the synergy, and they are finding some early kills, even when the lanes weren't the best for them to start off with here. But on the top lane, Munkushi, does he get himself denied again by the neutrals? He's actually going to dive forward here onto Sayush. Reaper's Scythe comes through. Not enough damage here. He's going to be able to get himself right back away. Thunder God's Wrath, they get the kill onto Sayush. Now the charge, Munkushi, Weaver, even Violence going to be up here. Does he get the kill onto this? He does. And now back on the other side. Notice slowed down by the call-in. Do they have the damage? He's going to try and get that stomp off. Notice though, he's going to get really down low. Any more magic damage? And Chira Jr. on a triple kill after that gank. And there were rotations left, right, and center. Violence going to try and get himself away from this one, but he is going to be caught here by the split, and Violent, no way he gets himself out, even with the time lapse, should be ran down.
Yeah, that's the Zeus that lost the mid lane that just got an ultra kill right now. That's before the phylactery, which is now gonna be finished. Chira absolutely demolished them in that fight, and it all happened, why? Because the Reaper Sight was too early. He came into the fight without the Reaper Sight kill. You do not get those stacks of the Heartstopper aura, you do not heal yourself up, and ultimately you do die. That is the tankiest hero, the hero that should be hard to kill on the side of Virtus.pro. So a big fight win for Klim Sani4.
Yeah, Dominic going to get charged out here. Actually cancelled it off, but yeah, so we're talking about the Necrophos being in charge. 10 minutes in, looking at the net worth, and the Zeus has leapfrogged him. Leapfrogged over the Necrophos in terms of net worth and in kills. 5-0-0 here for Chira Jr. So is it now up to VP to put some pressure on the Zeus again, or maybe look to take away that kill streak?
They're not that type of lineup. Until they get the blink on the Centaur, you cannot really get on top of him that easily. Yeah. The Spirit Breaker charge will be cancelled. You know, the Weaver shouldn't go that deep. So this is the way they should play.
Oh, this might be a mistake. Yeah, Munkushi though, the Inkspell's going to be coming out. Do they get this kill onto FNG? FNG going to try and run himself away. Looks like he's going to get low. Munkushi, does he get the kill? One more right click. He's going to be able to pick it up. Chira Jr. on the back lines takes down Notice. And again, it looked good to start with here for VP, but the execution in the end, they didn't stick the landing.
Yeah, Chira is just crushing it here. He understands every single time that he should be present, that his damage is the one that's going to be taking down the Centaur, potentially the Necro if he does come over, and he's the Weaver rundown with the Lightning Bolt and the extra vision that he provides. We even saw that yesterday in a Zeus versus the Weaver match that we have casted. So overall, he understands just how important his presence is. He's not just the Thunder God's Wrath. He needs to be there, and with him being there every single time, he's giving the fight wins to his teammates. And
we'll see just how they're going to try and respond to this here on the side of VP. They've got themselves two... I mean, we saw it 2 or 3 times yesterday where one team went... I think Bet Boom, was it something like 16-2 against them, and they still ended up coming back and winning the match. So obviously can't write it off here for VP, but it is... Because again... The net worth lead, it's only 1,000 gold in favor of Klim, so it's not like they're massively ahead, but they are starting to try and look to push this early item advantage, at least in Squadix. Taking a little bit of damage here coming out from the Zeus. Do they want to try and force something out here? Rotation through the jungle, and it is going to be a 3-man rotation, it looks like.
Sage breaks the smoke and also puts down the ward, so he knows exactly where his enemies are. The problem is it's time to bail. You are not fighting that. No way. The thing with this game here, though, is that Virtus.pro, the skill ceiling, what they can accomplish with this lineup, might be higher than what the enemies are doing. But the thing is, it's much easier to play the other lineup. Ulti from the Zeus, ulti from the Spectre onto support, and that's it. On the side of Virtus.pro, you really have to have positioning in your engagements, and you have to have defensive positionings to keep your Shadow Demon alive, or somebody else if he's saving him as well. So I'm not sure. For now, Virtus.pro, they're not utilizing the strengths of their lineup.
No, you can feel. I mean, I feel like they're going to try and do. They were trying to do something here, grouping up the Shadow Demon with Squadix. So you've got the. Xiao's just backing himself away. You've got the Shadow Poison that comes out. You've got a good setup, a little bit of damage here. Bottom lane, though, are they going to try and make a move onto Notice? Notice has to use that Stampede, gets himself away. He really has to get himself away because all 5 heroes on the side of Klim. They are making a beeline down here. He's even going to use that little Tumblets toy to try and get himself away from this one. Squadix, Deadshot comes out, but it looks like Sweden Strong. He's even going to try and pop his ultimate for this one now as well, but the slowdown here. He's trying to get himself out here, Notice, but with 4 heroes stacking up, no way he gets himself out.
Yeah, Squadix was thinking of assisting his teammate there, and then as soon as he saw the split running in, it's time to bail. That split can purge off your Ghost Shroud, so you really don't want to be playing with your life like that. You just let it go. It was kind of obvious he was gonna die. The second they started going for him, the supports of Klim Sani4 were also in a really good position to cut him off.
Yeah, and Spectre actually building towards a Radiance here. Yeah, okay, so we're going to see a double Radiance build, which we did see a lot of at TI, because Dominic's got his queued up as well, but at some point it is split up a little bit later on. I think this is something Ramsey's made famous, where it was like because he used to play Alk a lot, obviously the position 1, and then you had like a Wraith King 3, or I mean you still do have a Wraith King 3, but it happened then as well. Where they both went Radiance, and then it was split up on the carry into a Nullifier. Meanwhile, the offlane, they just kept that Radiance, because obviously they were the ones to engage, and it was just nice to have that mischance on what was effectively the jump-in tank.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's one of the better farming items for a Spectre as well. And once you do get the... oh, let's see the fight on top. Okay, it's not even a fight, it's a slaughter. Once you do get into the later portions of the game, the Nullifier here makes a lot of sense. You purge off the Ghost Shroud, you purge off the Bulldoze. So there are multiple reasons to go that route with the Spectre.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shadow Demon just trying to get some wards down here. 2-11, 2k net worth lead for Klim. And we'll see. I mean, they're moving around here. Munkushi has been active 1, 2, and 8, so it's not just about the kills. He is, getting in for the haunts. Excuse me, the shadow steps for the assists, being able to find those and put some pressure onto VP. So VP maybe feel like even though they have most of the towers up, like the map is just closing in on them just a little bit here. And yeah, this Necrophos not really had the impact that I was expecting a little bit early on. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, they're going to have their stun with the Inkwell. Did they take down Violent? Violent's going to have that time-lapse now as well. Dropping the Swarm, TP's coming in. Are they going to try and chase down onto this? This is going to be the first stack. Violent gets the kill onto Respect. TP cancelled the Munkushi. The charge is coming in, or it was coming in from across the map, but it would have taken way too long. And Munkushi just able to get himself away by floating.
Also, one big thing to put an emphasis on in this game, you're playing a Spectre into a Shadow Demon and a Necro, right? So your late game, it's not gonna be easy, despite Spectre being one of the strongest late game heroes, not only in this match, but in the game in general. But Virtus.pro, they are well prepared for it, and Violent with the Midas, he is gonna be scaling quite a lot into the later portions.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sweet and Strong gets Saush with the dead shot. Really good setup there from the side of Klim. Once again, just to be able to, as soon as the vision comes in, Dominic spots the Shadow Demon, immediately the Haunt comes out, there was a kill, and there was no way for the disruption to really pay off, just because, again, Klim, they're taking this 3-4-man group up really seriously and trying to push this advantage.
Very good levels on the supports in general on both sides. If you look at it, the Spirit Breaker is the one that is level 8, but every other support is level 9. So they have a decent amount of experience, and I really haven't seen Sweden Strong going for too many plays, but he's always in the vicinity to help his teammates if there is a fight. And he's also very farmed as well, has a Yules.
Yeah, Munkushi gonna get charged on once again, but again the follow-up not there from Squadix nor Violent, and just a little bit of, I guess, putting the fear of God in Munkushi, but Munkushi not too bothered. He's got himself the Blade Mail, he's got that, no charges on that just yet, but one more gank should be able to set him up again. And not too far off the Sacred Relic as well, about 4,000, about 1,000 gold. For from being able to at least buy up the relics. So this is a really nice timing save for the Spectre, I think.
Solid timing for both him and the Brewmaster, especially because Spectre was losing the lane heavily. But now you can see the difference between the Spectre and the Centaur. Just those rotations towards the Centaur were a big deal. And Seyush, he dies again. I think these deaths are definitely showing that Virtus.pro, they don't want to fight. They're happy giving away a kill here and there if it does allow them to farm. And they also have 2 Midases on their side.
Yeah, the Weaver picking up his Midas. He's actually going straight towards the Deso. So Dragonlance Midas into Deso. It's not a bad build, and obviously the Midas meaning that you're going to catch up from any hindrances you've had in this game so far. Dominic, though, pushing forward, has that split. Balance going to be careful because there is a Grimstroke close here as well. So if he does get caught out, speaking about getting caught out here, bottom lane, there is going to be that spin up here onto the Spirit Breaker. The Colin comes out, and they're going to be able to get another kill onto him. He's going to be silenced. No way he gets the charge away. The death comes out. Reaper's Scythe this time. It will complete. Squadix gets his first permanent stack here. So a good pickup going straight into that heart after the Blade Mail as well. And I expect the Aghanims to follow up right after that heart's done.
Both of the teams had very good vision of what was going on, and Virtus.pro and Klim Sani4 both brought in the same amount of heroes, right? The thing is that Klim Sani4 were a little bit later into that fight, so that did allow the Necrophos to get the return kill. Could have gone much worse if Klim Sani4 were just a second or 2 faster.
Yeah, and it's... I mean, support for support, but I think VP going to be happy with that just to get a kill, another kill on the board. Ooh, Stampede. It looks like it's going to be used defensively just to get noticed away. Going to be slowed down from the daggers as they all seem to fly in here, but yeah, it's going to be fine. Not going towards the Blink, actually. Going to be going towards an early pipe on the Centaur before using... I suppose you've got FNG for the initiation, but just interesting that's the Centaur's build. And it looks like FNG, once again, the Deadshot comes through. Really nice angles on this. Sweden Strong, you can probably tell he played, you know, pool, snooker, something like that, because he's getting all these fancy angles.
He's looking pretty good here. Yeah, from the items of Virtus.pro, it is very easy to read that they do not want to fight. They just want to be able to stand their ground and deter and dissuade Klim Sani4 from getting into any kind of big fights. That's what they want. They think the late game is theirs, and they're just gearing up for it. Because if they felt even a little bit of pressure, the Blink Dagger on the Centaur would be the first thing on the menu.
Yeah, and like you say, that they just feel like they can take that time to get a little bit more defensive, you know, build up a little bit slower. The Zeus Impact 802, so not that it's dropped off, but it's slowed down just a little bit as obviously he needs to farm items up as well. And VP, yeah, like you say, they're just taking this opportunity to, okay, they might lose a support or 2, but they are finding a majority of their farm. And it looks like they're stacking up now for a smoke, so it looks like VP, is it their turn to make something happen?
The Zeus has an Octarine, a Kaya, and a Phylactery. He is ultra farmed. The thing is, Necro is ultra farmed on the other side. Still hasn't finished up his heart, but he's getting very, very close.
Yeah, it's going to be Dominic that they try and go on here. The split comes out. Soulband comes through now as well into the Weaver. The Weaver's going to try and do what he can, but it's going to be a really big kill onto FNG. And now Valiant has to try and run himself away from this one. He is going to be dusted up, so slowed down a little bit. Trying to use that Sakuchi for the max move speed, trying to get himself away. Dodging off the boulder at least, and he will be able to get himself out of this one, but is the Shadow Demon going to be his lucky side? She might not even be able to get towards this Wisdom Rune. Dagger comes in, so Valiant's going to pick it up for him now as well. Inkswell, he should be able to get the kill onto Sarush, but as Violent put himself in danger here, getting that Wisdom Rune, looks like he will be able to get himself out.
That pipe in the previous fight saved the Weaver's life. If there was no barrier on the Weaver, he gets bursted down from 100 to 0, and it is a complete disaster. Here, it is just Klim Sani4 getting some kills, increasing their lead a little bit more, but overall, nothing of value was lost for Virtus.pro. Their cores are still going to be alive, they're still going to be farming, and it seems to be their game plan. Currently, though, I would be much happier with the development if I was Klim Sani4, though we'll see. We'll see. Maybe just Virtus.pro don't want to put their foot on the gas just yet.
Yeah, and Centaur going to be stunned up. Has that pipe in 1 second. Is he going to be able to survive long enough? The disruption comes out, trying to save his life in the middle of it now. Squadix, he pops that blade. Munkushi could have tried and get himself away. Anything to stop this Reaper's Scythe. It looks like it's going to be enough. They do get the kill onto Munkushi, even loses his courier. Oh, that's his Radiance down for the next 2 minutes or so.
This is what we were talking about. You are gearing up to be able to dissuade Klim Sani4 from these fights. They got a little bit, you know, antsy. They wanted to make something happen to make the game go faster on the side of Klim Sani4, but ever since the pipe came out, it's much harder to actually bring down cores. And this time around, they set their eyes on a core. And well, it went as it did with your Spectre dying. So overall, Virtus.pro, despite being behind, they're the ones that feel stronger at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that Centaur, pretty tanky boy. He was close to going down, though. You know, an extra second or so without that pipe, maybe he does die. Maybe they get the return kill out, but it was really close for the Centaur, so it looks like he does want to tank up again, going towards that heart before he goes for the Blink Daggers. So not too fussed. We might lose FNG once again, though. FNG going to be slowed down, stunned up, but it might not be enough with him having the charge right back up now.
Yules is ready, so it's very hard to charge away. He needs to be very careful. You can see how Sweden Strong is positioning himself so that he's not in the way of the charge, so that he can use the Yules while FNG is going through. The FNG he's a smart guy as well. He doesn't even want to attempt it. He's just going to stay hidden in the trees and wait it out.
Did you see a couple of times at TI? It wasn't just the one player, but they were using the courier for So, okay, let's see if they actually find out FNG. He's just going to go for the TP away. They don't have the vision. They are going to check here, but the dead shot not in the right. It wasn't in time anyway. But now, Roshan, did he want to set up for this one? And then Necrophos is going to TP mid, going to try and get himself right on top of the Zeus. But what was the saying? Oh, yeah. So there was the Spirit Breaker games at TI, they'd put the couriers in the hard camp next to the high ground. So the Radiant base, it would be the one that the Centaur's at right now. So the Spirit Breaker would always have something to charge away to in case he got into danger that was effectively safe for him to charge at.
Yeah, it's a safer bet than just screaming at your teammates, "Give me vision of a creep, give me vision of a creep," which tends to happen sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, you do want to use that. You also do it when you're farming during nighttime, let's say with a hero like a PA. You know, those kind of things are pretty normal ever since everybody got their own courier, and now we have like what, 5 years that's been the case. I can't even keep track any longer.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years. Was it the Monkey King patch? Because it was a backpack and everyone got courier and.
Somebody needs to write a Dota history book. Like, this is just getting ridiculous. I cannot keep tabs on everything.
While we're just chatting away, they did manage to take Roshan. Munkushi does get the Radiance out now as well, so his courier respawns, going towards a Manta style to come out next. Has this Aegis for the next 4 minutes 20 seconds as well. So big 420 on the Spectre, and he's going to be enjoying that. As these stacks, you know, okay, he's going to be happy with the stacks as well. And we're going to see a 3-man smoke coming out here from the side of Klim. Who are they going to be able to find now? They have some deep vision, but nobody's showing just yet on the side of Virtus.pro. So it looks like they might not be able to catch anyone out just yet. Centaur is the closest one, but still not showing on the lane.
He doesn't want to die now as he's very close to the blink. He really wants to be careful. Does have the Stampede you're seeing, but most of the times he's used it defensively, and then maybe if in that defense his teammates used it as an offensive tool, that was nice. But overall, he has just been running away with it.
Yeah, Necrophos using the illusions to push out the top lane. Thundergod's Wrath actually comes out. They're going to just go straight for the TPs now. Shadow Demon, does he get himself away from this one? His TP is going to be cancelled. It looks like they have the stun up, the damage, and the Necrophos, he's not going to be able to get his TP out either. He uses it, but he's just going to go for the Stampede runaway TPs. Coming into the middle. Do they get away from this one? He's even going to find himself a double damage on here. Respect. He picks this one up. Squadex. What can they do to this one? Noticed. He's taking all the that dead shot. No fucking way that connects onto the Necrophos. Massive swing there. And like I say, just perfect on these angles. Violent. He has to pop the time lapse. No, he doesn't pop the time lapse. He goes down. He's dead. He still had the ultimate. What? Big tanky boy into Squadex, but he's going to be in the middle of 3-4 heroes. The split coming out from the Brewmaster now as well. He just gets cleaned up.
Saving Private Necro goes terribly wrong as the Weaver pops the BKB and thinks he can stay in the middle of the enemies and just not take enough damage. The thing is that this Spectre packs a punch if you're alone. He actually does so much right-click damage, and he got him down before the time-lapse went off. He definitely could have time-lapsed at any point, even before the BKB usage, but he just wanted to get something out of that fight, and that greed, it cost him.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it yesterday where Violent is just a little bit greedier there than Kiritich. It did cost him in a couple of matches yesterday. So, Dominic, gonna get charged on. There's gonna be the Shadow Step to the backlines now as well. Do they want to try and do the damage? FNG does get the kill. Soulblind, yeah, he has the bulldoze up. But yeah, just a little bit, like you say, a little bit of greed that costs Violent his life. And if you just a little bit less, you know, use that time lapse, maybe the fight goes a different way.
Yeah, for sure. And also, one big thing we didn't talk about, the Phantom's Embrace over the Ghost Shroud. It is just ridiculous how much it destroys. A very nice usage of the Zeus ulti. They read the situation perfectly. They know VP are coming.
Yeah, there's still going to be the charge in now as well. Heavily jumped, stuns up though. Notice, can he get himself out of this one? Has to turn himself around. Boots have traveled. Necrophos is still not going to be anywhere close. Violence going to be able to catch up to this one now. Munkushi, I mean, he still has this Aegis, and Notice, does he get himself away from this one? Trying to do what he can. He still has those one charges. He doesn't use them. A lot of damage now. Munkushi, did he want to go?
That was miscommunication. He used the Stampede and then he got disrupted during the Stampede.
Oof.
So effectively the Shadow Demon killed him.
So, yeah. Well, I'm sure they're going to be, you know, calmly talking through that one in team chat.
Yeah, of course. You never go aggressive on your teammates.
No.
He's in trouble.
He's in trouble. He's straight up dead here. And yeah, 22-6. Klim Sani4, they're... I mean, they turned the pressure on early, and it looked like there was a couple of good opportunities here for VP, but they've got VP on the back foot here, Klim Sani4, doing a really good job of keeping up this momentum.
So anyways, you know about what they say you should do. I don't know if it's true or not. If somebody gets struck by lightning.
Don't touch them?
No. Put them in cow dung, right? So it feels yeah, that is, people do say that. I don't know if it should help, but I'm not sure. I really haven't been in that situation, and hopefully no, I never will be. But it does make sense. Then the Spirit Breaker can kind of help himself if he's getting destroyed by the Zeus.
I've literally never heard that in my entire life. Like, I've heard a few things about people being struck by lightning, but yeah, like, put them in cow dung. I've never once have I come across that.
I guess if you bury them, it takes away the electricity, but it's hard to put them in, in tough soil, and then this is a little bit easier to do. I'm guessing that's the case.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Reaper Scythe comes down. Squadix, we're going to move swiftly on from that. Squadix gets the kill here with Reaper Scythe, so that's going to be his third permanent stack coming through. I think he's close. He might have his Ag Scepter coming out on the courier now as well, which might be a bit of a tide turner, as Violent going to be chased down. Has that time lapse? Surely he uses it this time. Yep, going to be able to get it off, and then the BKB comes out now as well. Split here from the Brewmaster Dominic, though. He's going to be taking that Fire Pan and taking a lot of damage on the back lines. Notice tries to get the jump in. Blade Mail already out for the Spectre. Munkushi, what are they going to be able to do? Soulbind comes through now as well, but it looks like FNG wants to carry on going, uses the BKB. Already used his ultimate, but they might have the lockdown here from Respect. The jump forward from the Necrophos has that shard, so he will be able to get in the fray. And again, that Ag Scepter is up now. So for anyone that doesn't know what that does, that adds 60% of your current health regen to your Heartstopper Aura damage, which is, for these big tanky, I mean for anybody really, because it is just flat regen that it adds to it, or degen I guess you call it in this case. It burns through heroes quickly. And obviously when you get kills with a Heartstopper Aura, you're stacking up more and more regen, you get permanent stacks with your Scythe as well. So it just builds Necrophos into this big late game hero burner.
That fight could have gone really bad for Virtus.pro. So, first of all, I was surprised that Klim Sani4 went for the fight, considering that the Zeus was dead, but they almost killed the Weaver. The only reason that the Weaver survived is that the Spirit Breaker tanked the dead shot. If the dead shot had connected onto the Weaver, extra lockdown, extra damage, he's dead.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how much the Manta of the Spectre changes the hero, how much damage this hero is able to do if somebody is isolated.
And we're going to see even more damage coming out now, because it looks like he wants to go towards that Orchid, and then it will be the Nullifier to come out. So the split comes out after that on the Radiance, and then it's just going to be, yeah, if he catches someone out solo, I mean, he's been catching people out solo anyway, doing a lot of damage, 3-3-15 here, so picking up the assists and the kills, but we'll see just how much more deadly it gets in these fights, and how VP try and play around the spacing.
Oh.
Notice!
Well, this got...
I think he's going to notice the damage coming out onto him now as well. Thunder God's Wrath gets thrown out, and notice he just straight up disappears. And Centaur, did he finish the heart? Didn't actually finish the heart just yet. Went in for the blink. He's got the pipe, but it's still a ways away. And he is being picked off. He's taking a lot of damage. I'm surprised he didn't go back for that and finish the heart before the blink.
It's becoming easy for Klim Sani4 to play now, especially with the Spectre having that Manta, because he can go into the fight and not be afraid to get bursted down that easily. Plus, you are never alone, even if you get disrupted, because you have your illusions to assist you in not taking the desolate damage. So overall, I really like how Klim Sani4 are playing right now, even though they are not that super far ahead. This is the thing that their lineup does have that Virtus.pro doesn't have. If it is a straight 5 versus 5, you know, it doesn't. We don't know who's gonna win. But in terms of catching people around the map, I mean, Virtus.pro doesn't even get close to what Klim Sani4 are able to do.
Yeah, which is strange, right? Because you've got Spirit Breaker there, which is the #1 hero for charging heroes down and picking up kills around the map here. Violent. Oh, Violent. This is not good. He pops a BKB. He's going to be able to get the time-lapse off, trying to get himself away from this one. But that's a BKB used and a time-lapse used defensively, so at least 35 seconds here on the time-lapse. The BKB down for 90. It is hard here for the Weaver to try and fight into this one. If Klim Sani4 try and push this, they might be able to get a couple of objectives from that.
The side of Virtus.pro have to start finding ways to be the ones engaging the fight. It is way too hard for them to control the map with all of the tools that their enemies have to push out the waves and stay alive, because there's so many tools to catch you as well. And this is the big strength of this dire lineup, is outpushing the waves and catch. And, you know, even though you have better team fight and better counters for the heroes, it doesn't matter that you're ever gonna get a chance to actually fight in a way that you want.
And we can see that Klim Sani4, Thunder God's Wrath comes out. They see no heroes in here. Straight into the Roche pit. Yeah, okay. Another free Roshan, and there's nothing that Virtus.pro can do about this one. There's nowhere for them to TP to. They can't even jump through the twin gates here. TP to the outpost, I guess, if you want to take their time getting here, but Roshan's already gone.
I think Virtus.pro got pulled into this idea of, if we delay this, we're gonna win. But I think now they are kind of starting to understand that they cannot get the fight that they're looking for. Swedenstrong.
Oh, underneath the Sentry Ward here. This might actually be a big pickup if they can get it here. But Swedenstrong is actually going to chase forward here. Pops that dust. He's the one getting aggressive, even though they had the more heroes on the side of VP. And now the Colon's going to be dropped. FNG has to go for the BKB. There is going to be a jump in here from Munkushi as well onto FNG. But it looks like at least this time he's going to be able to get himself away alive.
He's fine. This is the thing. You see one hero, it's a support. It's a support that's considered kind of squishy. And you have to run away from it because you do not have the tools to kill Muerta. And this is the power of the Muerta. The hero is very hard to bring down unless you have your Necro in the vicinity. And the global presence is way too strong. Noticed, he feels it again.
Do you think that it's time for VP to start trying to group up and force these fights? Because they're just getting picked off around the map. It's, you know, one by one. It's whenever Klim Sani4 find themselves hungry, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet of Centaurs and Spirit Breakers and Shadow Demons here. Is it time that the, you know, VP starts to group up and make something happen?
It has to be. You cannot continue doing this because you're just gonna keep dying all around the map. This is looking way too easy now from Klim Sani4, and this is what I was talking about, in a sense that in terms of how easy it is to make your lineup work, it's much easier for the side of Klim Sani4 to make it happen. So Virtus.pro, they're gonna have to switch their game plan here if they want to win.
Yeah, and if he wants it, actually Spectre's just going to go straight into the Bloodthorn, it looks like. So not even going to be going for, unless it's coming out on the courier. Nope, that's Moita's courier, that's a gem, that's dust. So yeah, Munkushi just wants to go straight into the Bloodthorn, so ignoring the Nullifier for now, wants that extra stack up of damage to come out for him.
No, we thought 9 Pandas dropped the ball. It seems like Klim Sani4, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. They have a game plan. They're sticking to it, and they're really, yeah, they put it to 9 Pandas. Now they're putting it to VP, and VP, I wonder how they're going to respond to this one, because I mean, they have more of a put-together team. Let's call it heroes. There's going to be the Haunt out, the jump away now as well. Necrophos trying to get on the front line. He's got to be careful though. Lightning Bolt's coming through. Blade Mail's going to be popped here. Squad's going to be taking some damage. Just going to have to back himself away. Radiant's still burning him down as well. But the split comes in. The Brewmaster, he wants to take this tower. Do they have enough in them to protect the Squadix? He pops that BKB. Excuse me, the BKB, the Blade Mail. Has that BKB available if he needs to use it here. But Squadix, they might be able to defend this one. In fact, Dominic, does he get himself alive? He ends the split. Trying to run himself away.
He's running in.
Yeah. Violent wants this kill onto Dominic. Dominic, though, he's going to be able to get the cheese. There is going to be the Nimbus coming through now as well. Violent taking a lot of damage. Gets that time lapse off. Didn't use that BKB either. So can get himself away to safety.
The thing is, they cannot commit wholeheartedly when the Zeus is alive.
Yeah.
If you know that the Zeus is in a good position and ready to spam out his spells, he's gonna absolutely demolish all of you. So this is a problem, especially once he gets the Lincoln Sphere that is almost done. It is gonna be very, very tough to get on top of him and to kill him.
And yeah, it is looking very rough for VP, but you know, Klim Sani4, they're playing this one absolutely fantastic. The fact that the Zeus was so shut down by the Necrophos in the lane, and then they were able to find two good openings. All of a sudden, the Zeus was right back in it. Like, what was it, 8-0-3, 9-0-3? Coming into the first 15-20 minutes of the game, the Zeus really popped off.
He definitely did. That ultra kill on the top lane, it definitely helped this case. So he was losing the mid lane heavily. Then he got the first blood literally brought to him, and then he got 4 kills on the top lane. Some small mistakes from this Virtus.pro lineup have put him in a very uncomfortable position.
Oh, Reaper Sight comes out. They're going to be able to clean up the Muerta really darn quickly. That's a really nice one. Again, the extra stacks, the extra health res coming through onto this one now as well. Yeah, and you can see the Munkushi coming through. He is taking a lot of damage just with the Necrophos being there, standing next to him, and with the Blade Mails being popped on both sides. He popped this Aegis. What can they do onto this? It is going to be a buyback on the Muerta, but the Muerta's getting pretty darn low, and he's going to try and walk himself through the core. And Squad is going to try and do what he can again, trying to stack those kills, trying to stack the extra health regen so he does the damage to the enemy team. Now, well, the Phantom is going to be cleaned up almost immediately here. The Spectre, does he want to dive again? He's got that Shadow Step coming up in 13 seconds. If he can find someone, the Blade Mails are going to be there. Notice the split. The resplit comes out, and then there is going to be the chase out now. Notice has to pop the BKB Squadix. Trying to do what he can. That Blade Mail still going, but Notice as he gets himself up to the high ground, he's not going to be dead just yet. The Nimbus will finish the job. He is dead. Necrophos going to try and get himself away. Pops the BKB. Just going to go straight up for that TP away, and he is going to be out. So at least you get a buyback out of Sweden Strong and Respect, but VP still not able to take an overwhelming fight, and Klein, they just look really good when they decided to fight into that.
Yeah, but we still see that Virtus.pro, if they're able to force out a fight on their terms, when they're the ones starting it, even through the Aegis, they're able to win it, right? You got 3 heroes down, 2 of which bought back, and the Spectre had an Aegis. Imagine if that wasn't the case. And we can't really say, oh, you were caught out in a bad position. No, it was kind of a fair fight in terms of knowing where your enemies are and them knowing where you are. So overall, Virtus.pro, they know that they're capable of winning these fights, but how many of these are you actually going to get? That is the real question, and that is how they need to get to a victory in this game.
Yeah, and you can see that, I mean, everybody's still splitting up here. Weaver collecting those losses. Did you see it actually yesterday that we did get a block? Oh, we didn't get a block of cheese juice, but the Spectre, excuse me, the Secret Alliance game yesterday, game number 3, they did use the block of cheese.
Okay, and did it change the game?
It actually did. It was on a Bloodseeker, and I don't know if you know, but it's broke at the minute. So it gives a 500 shield that regens?
500 shield, yeah.
Yeah, that regens
if you're not attacked by heroes.
That's the thing. It's broke at the minute. It regens even while you're taking damage from heroes.
Oh.
So
okay.
it was on a Bloodseeker as well that gets like the shield anyway, which stacks up with it. FNG shows. BKB comes out. He just has to go straight up for the TP. Still taking a lot of damage though.
Yeah, Munkushi's still not able to kill him. One thing we haven't discussed here is, you mentioned it, but we didn't mention just how much damage it is the Heartstopper aura now.
Yeah.
When he gets the Reaper Scythe off and gets the kill with it, people just start dying around this Necro, right? He has 150 HP per second without any kills. Imagine what happens inside of a fight. It is insane how much AoE damage this Necro will be doing.
Yeah, he stands and people melt. And with the Sange coming out as well, so you have that health regen amp coming through on the Necrophos as well. It stacks up and up and up. And like, if you're standing in a creep wave and you're getting the creeps dying, or you're standing in the jungle and the creeps just dying next to you, so you are stacking up the passive coming out from the Heartstopper Aura, you're getting that extra. Look at it, Heartstopper Aura regen. Temporarily getting 42 health regen from that, which is amplified even more by the Sange. So you do, and so 60% of 200, you're doing 120 extra damage coming through on that Heartstopper Aura when it's stacked up like that's a massive amount that nobody can stand in.
Yeah, nobody really can. I'm just laughing at how fast the creeps are dying around the Necro.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. It's like when you see in cartoon, you know, when they have to over-exaggerate the bad guy and he's walking through a field and all the plants are dying and the leaves falling off the trees, and that's not an exaggeration here. Squadix really does do that much damage.
Also, Weaver is approaching level 25, and he has the shard. So there's another hero that is doing massive amounts of AoE damage, just running through the enemy heroes.
And well, I mean, we look at them. They do have a decent amount of lockdown, but once that BKB comes out, excuse me, you do have to really burst through Violent, you know, to, like you say, stop him from being effective in these fights. And it looks like we're looking around the Roshan pit to see FNG maybe acting as bait. It's like, oh ho, I always get shadow step on me now. Which, you know, if that's what he's into, you know, I'm not judging, but at least this time it might benefit his team.
The buybacks are going to be very, very important here, especially for Virtus.pro, as it is going to be a Roche on the Radiant side, at least for a minute.
Yeah, Nimbus is down to try and scout that one out. It is up in 55 seconds, like you say, so if they take a good fight here, Muerta's still trying to come in on the Silver Edge. Is there a gem? No, but there's a sentry down here. If he gets too close to Notice, it might cost him his life.
Nobody has a buyback other than FNG, and the Brewmaster is approaching his. That's it. Everybody is greedy. It's 44 minutes into the game. The Roche is approaching. You need to farm those buybacks.
They're leaving. They TP'd out. They left.
And the Roche will be appearing in 30 seconds, so you do have time to get back there. You're seeing that Munkushi is already on the run there. He's going to be scouted by a ward, though.
Look at these wards. Yeah, the wards coming out on the high ground, just behind in the camp, well, to the side of the camp there as well. You have to come through smoked. But they see the creeps are dying. You know, they know something. Are they going to try and pick up the Spectre if he tries to get himself into the pit? They might have had vision here with this ward that's just expired here on the Spectre, so they have a rough idea of where Munkushi is. Roshan, it's coming up in the next 4 seconds. It is up now. Where do they go with this one? It's going to be the big wraparound. Okay, they're looking for this one. Who gets jumped out? Squadix going to walk himself forward here.
Zeus cannot get caught. He does have a Lincoln, so the charge won't work, but if you jump him with the Centaur, it's going to be a disaster.
Look at this. Swarm comes through. Doesn't connect onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster now, though, the walks forward split, immediately just wants to go into this one. Okay, so coming through, Thunder God's Wrath comes out. They're going to be able to scout out Violent, who gets jumped on now as well. It's going to be the spin up here for Squadix. And a lot of damage coming through. FNG, if he's going to use that buyback, he has to use it now. Otherwise, the fight is just going to be, you know, VP has to leave here. Squadix taking a lot of damage onto the Brewmaster. Do they have enough? Squadix comes right back down, and again, that health regen going to be paying off here, and Squadix can just hang around here. The illusions come forward. There is going to be the Stampede. Did they actually get the catch out? The Spectre, though, the Reaper's side is going to keep him locked down for a little bit, but it was not enough damage, not at all, because he was full health here now as well. The charge down, FNG is going to buy back. They do get the kill into this one. The Spectre doesn't have that buyback, and now it's going to be the Weaver. He goes down. Dominic, he gets the kill. He tried to get the time lapse off. He did, and then he just time lapses right back into his death. Charge through from FNG. Wants to get on Chira Juni now as well, but Dominic's going to be running the show. Squadix, though, getting onto the back lines. Do they get the kill onto Respect? As it looks like on the other side now as well. Sayush trying to do what he can with that purge. The damage coming through. Notice going to be able to get at least one kill. Now FNG, the change target, is going to be able to charge onto Sweden Strong. Sweden Strong, he is going to go down. That is going to be a 3 for 2, taking down Violent, but you do get the Spectre. You get the Brewmaster here as well. And Squadix, they might actually want to go for Roshan here.
It's a 3 for 3, as FNG did buy back in that fight. The thing is, neither of the teams now have the strength, the right click necessary to kill Roche, right? So it's just gonna be a complete reset. If you want, you could buy back on the Weaver and go for the Roche, but that is too big of an investment, too scary, because you don't know how the buybacks on the other side are looking.
Well, yeah, I suppose. No, they should have a rough idea that the Muerta doesn't have hers. I suppose it is coming right back up, but she's dead for 80 seconds. So if they see this and they think, okay, once the Weaver respawns, once that Shadow Demon respawns, we can either try and force something out on the Roshan pit, you know, maybe force a fight, or try and force out a buyback or something. VP, it's not a bad position for them to be in. In fact, Squadix is just going to walk straight into the Roche pit.
He's gonna try, and the Weaver will be there in 20, as Muerta will not. Of course, as you mentioned, it was a dieback, even though he does have a buyback again, but the extra death timer is definitely going to be significant in a fight, and it seems like Virtus.pro should be able to take this Roche. Klim Sani4, on the other hand, 4 versus 5, and with the buyback on Muerta, this should be contested.
I like that Necrophos was just... this is the slowest Roshan I've ever seen here. But he can't die. He's just got so much health regen. He's got the health coming through as well. You know, with a 4 death pulse. Did he go for the... No, he didn't go for the Death Pulse heal at level 15. He went for the Ghost Shard slow. But it's just, you know, he can just stand there all day. And it probably would take all day if he was just trying to solo that Roshan.
Well, with Violent coming in, it does go down fast. And they found Dominic. I don't think you kill him. You don't have the mobility necessary to get on top of him.
No. I do like the Necrophos having the refresher here, though. Who's TP'd himself into the mid lane to try and push this one out. Okay, so everybody's going to leave. Just being able to get off that double Reaper Scythe in a fight. The damage, it's a lot of mana. It's 1,000 mana if you cast it twice, I suppose. But if you've got that regen coming through from the Reaper Scythe as well as the passive on the Heartstopper Aura, it is okay. You know, you're going to get a lot of mana back from that as long as you get both kills.
Yeah, you're not. If you get one kill, you're not gonna feel it. That's how it goes overall. And you know, you have the Sanjay and Kaya. It's not that you are completely left to your own accord. You actually do have a lot of things to work with. Plus, he was given a cheese. So this Necro, man, he's so scary. He's not a target, and he just deals so much damage. But also Spectre is scary as well. And Spectre is level 25, went for the Dispersion talent, and has a shard. So that Dispersion, it's gonna hurt everybody on the side of Virtus.pro.
Absolutely. And being able to put that over, you know, effectively the second Blade Mail for 5 seconds, just being able to stack that one up, it's going to be able to turn the damage right back around on them. So how then do you try and focus this fight if you are on the side of Klim Sani4? You know, who are you focusing down? Who's your opening in these fights?
I think you don't want a full-on engagement if you're Klim Sani4. You want it to be a separate fight. You can pretty much kill anybody if they are isolated. So you want to isolate the fight. You want to create chaos first on the map, and that will allow you to create chaos in a fight. The thing is now with an Aegis, with the cheese, with the refresher, Virtus.pro can play more aggressive than they were otherwise able to, which puts you in a pretty defensive spot. But I think the plan remains: push out the waves, do not engage during the sake. It's way too hard.
Okay, well, we're going to see a fight. They might actually find out Mota here. Mota, though, in the Silver Edge. And, yeah, Hannah Midas coming out for the position 4. Got that Silver Edge coming through. Gem on the inventory as well. Just going to be able to get himself away. Level 25 on the Mota in there as well. Just went for the Magic Resist at level 25. So, even though it is a position 4 support, you know, it is starting to hit like a core here.
Yeah, for sure. And Zeus is approaching level 25. He's going to have it fairly soon. Weaver, bye-bye, Aegis.
Yeah, that was not ideal here for the Weaver. He's going to get locked down even through the BKB. They have the damage. He's dead. 100 seconds. He's gone for Violent. And Violent, I don't know why he was so far forward, but he gets caught out. He gets killed off, locked down even through the BKB. And now VP needs to leave. He doesn't have that buyback. What's the goal on the buyback? 2,000 gold. Squadix has to pop the BKB and TP out.
He has the bots too, so it's a very, very fast TP. The thing with the Weaver, I think Violent overestimated himself in a sense that, oh, I have a BKB and the Satanic, I can do whatever I like. And he started attacking the Spectre. I don't think that the Satanic even helps you enough if the Spectre pops the Dispersion and the Blade Mail. You're just gonna die from your own hits, and that's kind of what happened. Plus, he was all alone, meaning that the Desolate really did rip him apart. Yeah,
and this is the thing now, he doesn't have buyback, he's dead for a minute, and VP, they've already lost his tier 3 tower in the mid lane, and Klim Sani4 are going to try and push in on this one. You've got the refresh here on the Brewmaster, 70 seconds on the split cooldown, but if he wants to, he can refresh, go for another split, and he's going to be destroying buildings anyway. Look at how quickly he's going to be able to rip through this one. Inkswell comes out, Squadix steps forward here. Are they going to be able to defend the base? 37 seconds, no Weaver. VP trying to do the best to defend this.
There is a level 25 on the Brewmaster as well, so the Cinder Brew applies Fear. And the thing is that you have so many AoE spells, so if you get the Cinder Brew on a hero, he's getting feared inside of a fight, 100%.
Absolutely. And how then do... Because, I mean, they lost the Aegis, so there was a bit of maybe an overzealous push there from the Weaver. How do VP try to fight into this?
It's the same for both teams, right? Ever since the start of the game, Klim Sani4 is going to be trying to split push and get pickoffs, right? And then if you come to their high ground, you have a Zeus, so it's always your advantage. On the side of Virtus.pro, you want to be controlling the map so that you can force out fights outside of the Klim Sani4 base, but never really split too much and show up too much on the map so that you do not get picked off by the Zeus ulti plus the Shadow Step. So it is still a little bit easier for Klim Sani4 to play, but easier for Virtus.pro to win fights unless they're just walking up high ground like madmen.
Okay, well, we'll see who's got the more patience behind them again. 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes until Roshan is back up. So maybe both teams hold until the big man is back in his cave.
They are not going to be forcing big things, right? So Virtus.pro are not going to be forcing big objectives, and Klim Sani4 are not going to be forcing big fights. And if a big fight arises, Virtus.pro will gladly take it, Klim Sani4 won't. And if a high ground push, a big objective push comes out from Virtus.pro, Klim Sani4 will gladly take that as well. So most likely we are looking at a stalemate unless a big mistake is made.
Okay. And I like the I like this ward just outside the Radiant base. Just peeks into the lane. You know, it's just got a little it's not a massive area of effect, but it's just a little peeking in to see when people are moving outside the base.
It's a pretty solid ward. Very, very hard to find at the moment. At this point of the game, of course, there's always going to be a gem, so you want to find some cool spots, get some info on what's going on, and this is pretty good info for sure.
Who does have the gem on the... Does anyone have the gem on the Radiant side? Oh,
yes,
no, it's
the Centaur.
Ah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Big tanky boy. Nearly 5k. Right. Do you think it's just ridiculous the amount of health heroes are getting at the minute? It is, right?
Yes, but the damage has been scaled, right? Maybe the numbers should be toned down, you know, like 15-20% in both the damage and the HP, but then you would have to change how the shields work and everything. So I'm fine with this. It kind of looks cool. Imagine you bring somebody from 10 years ago and he looks at the HPs of heroes right now. Like, how are these guys ever gonna die?
Yeah, that's what I like. I'm looking at the Zeus with nearly 4k health, and it's like that didn't happen a few years ago. You'd be lucky if the Zeus got to 2k health in a match, but now, you know, he's sitting at 4k and he's not even done yet. That's ridiculous.
He is not. But this is progress. This is progress, Rob, right? You have a little bit of inflation. Dota is getting better and better every year. This is what we want.
And the Necrophos picks up the Shivas as well. So, I mean, 54 minutes. We're coming close to the 60-minute position 5, the tier 5 items here. And it's... Okay, so they're going to step forward. They see Munkushi, this tier 2 tower as well. And this might be where VP, if they're going to try and even up, they want to try and even up in the mid lane because they are down at least a range racks in the mid lane. But they are smoking around here. Roshan at least 18 seconds away from respawning. So it looks like it is going to be a nighttime Rosh if it gets done pretty much as soon as it respawns.
This is not a great spot from Klim Sani4 to fight. You can see that they are not moving towards that high ground. They're going back to their tower. They understand around objectives, they actually have a decent shot at winning. This is why we're most likely looking at the stalemate before the Rosh spawns. And luckily for us, it is going to be the longest Rosh respawn time.
Woo! And we'll see. Dominic's TPing away. Dominic's TPing into the mid lane. He wants to try and force this out. Yeah, if they try and take a fight here, though. Oh, the dead shot's going to connect. They might be able to go into Mortis. Sweden Strong, he's got that Link Sphere. He's already got the BKB coming out now as well. Do they want to go for any more of this? Because they are going to be losing the base here with the Brewmaster. He's got that split off. He's just going to go straight for the racks. Are they going to try and force out some TPs? Are they going to try and interrupt the TPs now as well? Noticed his has been cancelled. He's got no TP. Spirit Breaker going to charge in now as well. What's he going to be able to do? Because, I mean, Thunder God's Wrath comes out. FNG. And now they are going to be trying to force here as well. You can see the Earth Panda already moving away just in case here. But they are going to be able to get at least this lane of racks. And FNG, does he want to charge right back into this one? They're going to try and fight. They find Munkushi. Notice stepping forwards. FNG, does he want to go? Do they have any vision onto this one? So the Brewmaster will be able to TP to his teammates. So maybe they try and push this 4v5 advantage they've just got for the next few seconds here on the side of Klim Sani4.
FNG can be there in a second. He's a Spirit Breaker. He will be able to connect. It's a very cool play from Klim Sani4. They're trying to break up the ranks of Virtus.pro. That's how you win fights, and this is a solid attempt.
Yeah.
Plus, you got the Raxes.
And it does mean, yeah, the longer the VP are out of the base now, the more of it they're going to lose. They're going to try and go to the Necrophos. Necrophos pops that Blade Mail now as well. He's going to hold on to the BKB. Going to be silenced for a little bit, but should be able to deal with the Phantom. The charge comes in. He's going to get the kill onto Dominic. Dominic's going to be dead. Dominic has that buyback if he wants to use it now as well. Squadix didn't get the Reaper Scythe, so he is going to be able to move himself forward here with the extra Reaper Scythe damage coming out into the Heartstopper aura. Buyback comes out from Dominic. Does he have that refresher? He already used it, but he does have that split again if he needs to use it in this fight. And FNG wants to move himself back now as well, level 27, so he gets the damage coming through, the greater bash chance as well here. So he should be able to stun up some heroes in these fights with greater efficiency. Although we all know what 17% is 100% really. As the charge comes through once again, connects onto the mortar now. FNG going to try and get himself away from this one. Dominic.
Oh, buyback on him.
He popped that BKB now as well. Yeah, and the refresher is down. It was used 140 seconds on the refresher as a split again if he needs it. But FNG just maybe putting a little bit of fear of God in him here. So in strong steps forward, did he have the reveal? Thundergod's Wrath comes through. They're going to be able to get themselves into Violent. Violent. Does he get the time lapse off? No, he's dead. If he wants to buy back here, Squadix taking a lot of damage. If he wants to buy back, get into the fight, Violent can do so. Squadix just going to go for the TB. Looks like they're just going to try and leave on the side of VP. Maybe give up this Roche.
The good positioning from Klim Sani is always going to give them the fight because they have so much vision, and if you're running towards them, you're just not going to have the setup ranks that you would want as Virtus.pro. So you have to be very careful. Virtus.pro did everything well in that fight. They got the kill on Dominic. They forced out his BKB, so for the next some time, he wouldn't be able to just run into the fight, meaning that you do not have a classic frontliner, but VP got ahead of themselves. Like, he doesn't have the BKB, he doesn't have the BKB, let's go. And you just cannot be that careless. This is what happens when you are, because the damage of Klim Sani4 is insane at this part of the game.
Yeah, and you can see the VP, they're trying to move themselves forward, trying to maybe get this tier 2 tower, trying to get something out of this. This Roshan's going to go down so quickly here. The Necrophos moves himself away. I thought you would have gone for the tier 2 tower in the mid lane just to try and get something out of it. And it does go down to... Was it FNG? It was FNG that took it in the end. So they get something, but it is going to cost them a Roche. Another refresher, the cheese coming out. Was that the fourth Roche? Fourth Roche, I think. So, yeah, it was a big pickup there for Klim Sani4 to be able to take down Violent and then just sit around the Roche pit, wait for the respawn.
They gave the refresher to the Grimstroke. He's going to have a Hex. It's going to be such a huge deal in these fights, Rob. He has the level 20 talent for the hits to kill the Phantom. And that is a huge deal because neither the Weaver, he doesn't want to be using attacks for that. And nobody else has good attack speed. And really, this Grimstroke is starting to be a big, big nuisance to his enemies. Plus, Zeus getting spells off on the Soulbind for, you know, roughly 16 seconds if it's perfectly placed. It's gonna be insane how much damage the Zeus is gonna be dealing in those fights.
Yeah, and the Grimstroke's not even hit, obviously being the support, he's not hit that power spike as well of having the Ag Scepter, so having that Dark Portrait come out, being able to turn heroes back on themselves on the side of VP. And I think that's where they maybe wanted something like a Daytime Roche, to pick up that Ag Scepter for the Grimstroke, something like that, but you're not going to turn your nose up as the double Soulbind, the damage coming through, the Ink Swells as well for the stuns. It is a big kit for the Grimstroke to be able to throw out twice.
To be honest, I'd rather give the Ags to the Spectre or the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
It's just not that great of a Grimstroke Ags game. The Weaver, he is an agility hero, but not the type that goes heavily into stats. So it's not that amazing. Maybe if there's a disruption on the Spectre and then you take a Spectre Illusion, that would probably be the best one.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out to see how that's going to... I mean, what's he building into next? It's going to be... It's the Hex coming up for the Grimstroke. I think he has the gold for it as well, which would mean buying out. And the Spectre, there you go, just as you were talking about, it just fully buys into that Ag Scepter. Just waiting for the gold. In fact, I think he has the gold for the Aghanim's Blessing. And just needs the surplus gold, it looks like, to be able to buy that and still have his buyback available.
He's being careful, though. Considering you have the Aegis for another 3 minutes, it wouldn't be super greedy if you would just buy it immediately. The Haunt is going to make a big difference, but tier 5 items are coming, and the Pyre Hat to Muerta, say hello to insane amounts of damage drop. He already has a Moon Shard, now he's going to have a Pirate Hat. That's way too much attack speed, and then with the Gunslinger, he also has the level 20 talent for it. He's going to be hurting. Yep.
He has his shot. He's had his shot for a while, so he's getting Spell Amp as well every time he gets a kill during Pierce the Veil, which means that everything he does is going to get stronger here as well. So Sweden Strong, It's again, he is a support, but he is looking more and more like a core.
Force boots for the Grimstroke. That is pretty huge as well, just to be able to keep yourself away from the enemies. The Spectre has a Fallen Sky. Being able to stun the Shadow Demon and possibly bring him down is a huge deal. And the Mirror Shield on the Brewmaster, that is so big. Book of Shadows on the Zeus, he just wants to keep himself untouched by the enemies, and that is a big deal. Even if you get yourself in a bad position, which is not very likely to happen, you will be able to save yourself for quite some time.
Yeah, 4 seconds applies a basic dispel there as well. It's quite nice. Mirror Shield coming out on the Necrophos, so he is going to be able to, and it's one of those things that the hero does, you know, transitions from that backline poke damage to a front liner coming into the late game. So the Mirror Shield, he really does want to be here. 4.6k health, the damage that he puts out from being on the front lines here as well. So yeah, having that Mirror Shield is just going to offer him a little bit more protection.
So Aghanim Scepter for the Spectre is ready. So the Haunt is ready as well, Rob. There is gonna be so much chaos that Virtus.pro are gonna have to think about here. So Seiyush, and I mean, mostly him. I don't favor his position, as with the Shadow Demon, he can contribute so much to these fights.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to catch him out right now.
Absolutely, yeah. And only, I say only, sitting on 3.5k health here with 16 armor. So he is one of the quicker heroes to go down in the side of VP. In fact, I think oh no, the Weaver's the only hero with less health than in the side.
Weaver also has the blink, and he's going for a swift blink as well. Jumping in to the backlines, destroying someone like a Grimstroke is going to be a big deal. And Grimstroke is not the hero that has a Glimmer Cape, so we'll see if he's actually going to be protected. Book of Shadows is always nice to keep you alive, and the Zeus does have it to save you.
Yeah, and to actually cut off Valent here, Dominic doesn't go for it. He's not going to move himself in. Item-wise, Brewmaster... yeah, he's pretty much sitting at the same place. They're going to go for the Primal Split now. Coming onto the tower, he's going to want to try and push his base. No creeps are pushing just yet, but the backdoor protection, they are going to be pushing into the mid lane. Munkushi, they want to force this one through. Munkushi, though, has to back himself away, has that Aegis. Just going to be taking his time. Doesn't want to overcommit into this fight now, as you see Squadix move himself forwards. And it looks like Soulbind comes out, but they are going to be able to move themselves back up onto the high ground here. VP, they defend, they hold their base. I say what they hold what's left of the base, and the Aegis does get reclaimed.
So they have survived through the Aegis, but there's still cheese in the Refresher Shard to be afraid of.
Oh, who's he charging on? Where's the follow going to come from this one? FNG's got the Link Sphere. It does get broken. Does he want to turn right back around onto this? He's got his teammates backing him up, and now the Nimbus does get dropped. Okay, fair enough. He doesn't want to go for anymore. He was just, you know, again, trying to force some items, maybe a BKB or two here on the side of FNG.
So the Spirit Breaker also has the Force Boots, and Shadow Demon went for the Book of the Dead. I like that there is at least one Book of the Dead on their side, as it does give you some chance to shove out the waves without much commitment as a support. I think that's very important here for Virtus.pro, for them to be able to find a solid fight. And now they're going to be finding a Shield Rune, so insane amounts of HP. There's going to be even more of that now.
And yeah, Spirit Breaker really benefiting from the Force Boots, because not only do you get the 150 movement speed from that, it also completely removes the speed limiter on the hero. You know, so I think when he was at his top speed, he was getting up to nearly 700 movement speed per second, which Spirit Breaker absolutely loves as a hero in general.
He removed the limiter. Reminds me of a bold anime character, right? So he's just gonna be running around the map doing whatever he likes. And this is at FNG. He's a big part of why Virtus.pro are actually even allowed to leave the bases. He can join his team whenever he likes, and he's everywhere on the map pushing out the waves.
If it was going to be an anime character, I think it'd be, for me, it's Rock Lee. You know, he's opened all 8 gates. He's loose. He's ready to go, which might cost him his life, you know, in the anime. That's how that kind of goes. But he's just ready to get around. He's just fully unlocked here, the Spirit Breaker. And once he hits level 30 as well, he gets the extra bulldoze, the bulldoze barrier, which is going to be nice for him. Means he's a lot more tankier on the front lines. But at the minute, he's getting around. Like you say, he's everywhere. He's clearing up all 3 lanes, making sure they can't be pushed in.
So Centaur wants an overwhelming blink, but he's also thinking about a hitch a ride. And imagine him just pulling the Weaver around, and the Weaver is just destroying everybody. That would be insane.
With the... Is that something the Weaver wants to do? Because does he not want to be getting around the Sakuchi, you know, getting the extra attacks off? Is that...
Well, you do get the extra range of 200.
True,
and
true.
You are super fast, and it doesn't last for that long. So it basically just gives you a little bit of a range to get on top of runway from enemies and do the damage while that is happening as well. So I think it would be quite nice. Maybe though Necro gets a kill with the Reaper Sight, and then you're riding with him through the enemies, and they're all dying to the Heartstopper aura.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the push coming in again on the base. Dominic here with the refresher. He's not scared of using this split when it does come out, so he's trying to do his best, but top lane, they're going to try and go for this one. Yeah, the Reaper set comes through to get the kill onto Munkushi now as well, and the top line's going to be bounced back on the Grimstroke. Grimstroke, he's going to be straight up dead. The buyback comes through from the Grimstroke, trying to haunt into this one. Squadix, he's taking a lot of damage. He's got that BKB going. He's trying to heal up through this one, do what damage he can. He doesn't have the Blade Mail anymore. He did sell it there for the Shiva, so he takes a lot of damage, goes down here if he wants to. Can buy back, but no quick way back into the fight. Valiant here, going to be able to get the time lapse, doing a lot of damage, but he's just being right-clicked down. Look at the damage coming through. And Dominic, respect, they're going to be able to get the kill. Violent, 2 heroes dead. They did force out a buyback from Respect and Munkushi, though. So a big, quick jump on the fight. But then once it turns into the 5v3, they just couldn't live through that.
You need the Roche, and you need to force buybacks for this fight to be a win for Klim Sani4. If that does not happen, it's going to be a problem. Also in that fight, the Book of Shadows saved Zeus's life. He got super low running down the Necro, and he definitely would have died to the Weaver. But 4 seconds, being completely untouchable, it does allow him to live. And they killed the Weaver like 10 times there, Rob. I don't know if you were looking at that. He's healing himself with a Satanic. He's using the time-lapse, and he's still dying. And it's insane how much damage he's doing. So that Satanic is really putting in the work, but not enough. Even with all the strength he has, surrounded by a Spectre, surrounded by all the heroes of Klim Sani4, it's way too much damage, as you mentioned.
I think Spirit Breaker, he's going for it. He wants this block of cheese. I'm looking at him. He's got himself the Great Healing Lotus. He's keeping that cheese in his backpack. He's collecting them. Is there any in the fountain? There's a few in the fountain there as well. He wants that block of cheese. The players, they know how broken it is now.
Okay. We'll see if he does go that route. He is looking to buy a Wind Waker. I actually love this, as there's nothing other than the Dispel to purge it off, but saving your Necro, let's say, in a fight, it's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, I've seen this being used from the Spirit Breakers where, because Bulldoze has such a low downtime, 8 second duration, 9.8 seconds on the cooldown, that you Bulldoze, once it wears off, you use your Wind Waker and then you Bulldoze again, and you just have 100% uptime all the time. Riverside comes out to get the kill into the Grimstroke.
That's buyback.
He's dead, yeah, 125 seconds, he's gone. He's got no buyback. He really used it in that last fight. Now they're going to chase down onto Dominic. He's going to be able to get himself away in the Wind Panda, but still, that's a big pick to open this up. 110 seconds. It's effectively going to be 4 versus 5.
The thing is, are you afraid of going high ground into an Aegis and into a Zeus? The thing is, a big part of the damage output of Klim Sani4 is this Grimstroke. He uses the Soulbind, and then the Zeus really does go ham. Also, that Hex is a huge deal as well. But Virtus.pro should still think twice about this. You still have Spectre's buyback on cooldown even when the Aegis expires for another 2 minutes. And that might be the timing that you should be looking to win this game. Until then, shove in all the lanes and wait for an opportunity.
Yep, just keep the pressure on. Spirit Breaker, what's he need? He's got a 4.8k surplus, so he's not too far off just fully buying out that Wind Waker if he wants it here. They're going to go towards a Torment. Has anyone not got their shot? No, everybody is sharded up. Yeah, okay, so it's now going to be golden XP, gold at least, I guess, because everyone's getting close to max level from the Tormentors, so we'll see if that's something they want to try and take away. Munkushi just using the Fallen Sky to try and deal with the Book of the Dead, push in.
Guess who's our only level 30 here, Rob?
Is it FNG? I've totally not just checked the levels.
Yep, FNG is level 30. He's everywhere on the map. He's getting all the creeps. He's getting all the farm. He's getting everything. And he's also 4th on the net worth chart. If you check it, of course, we're going to be looking at the buyback mostly. But yeah, he's very close to the top.
Violent, he has to get this blink away here. The Thunder Gods to give the kill. They absolutely ruin him there. The time-lapse was still on cooldown. It was only just coming off cooldown now. 1 second away, FNG. He has to get himself away. At least he has the buyback, but that's a great pick here from the side of Klim Sani4, especially if he can force out a buyback.
Violent is really dropping the ball over and over again in this game. I'm not saying that it is easy, but he's overestimating his abilities. Sure, you get the kill there in the mid lane on the Raxes, and you time-lapse away. Then you have to be careful for those 40 seconds. If you're not, you are an easy target. It's just how Klim Sani4's lineup works, and you're a straight-up glass cannon. Like, is there a defensive item? Sure, Satanic BKB. That's not enough. 4 other items that are only focused on killing enemies rather than saving your life.
And let's see. Charge comes through here. FNG. Yeah, he is level 30. He's going to be sitting on the front lines. He's got that barrier to come through from the bulldoze here as well. It's an all-damage barrier. It might not even matter. He's going to be taking so much. Look at this. Sweden Strong just absolutely ruins him.
Yeah, the ruiners on Klim Sani4. I mean, when you look at their heroes, they are literally ruiners in terms of damage. They absolutely demolish anybody who they come across.
And it's not like the Pierce the Veil's a long cooldown as well, 45 seconds at level 3. So he's going to have that backup. He's got himself the Moonshot. He's got a Daedalus here. He's got the Hurricane Pike coming out, Silver Edge. This is, if this was me, I'd be saying, yeah, that's definitely the carry of the game.
Yeah, well, there's more carries than one here, and a stance on Necro.
He jumped forward. It's going to be the Soulbound coming out. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to get around, especially as you have to walk around the racks. But yeah, he will be able to get himself back to base now. And Weaver has respawned, so it looks like they might be able to put up a defense. They're taking a little bit of pressure onto the tier 4s. Meanwhile, this is going on. The tier 3s on the top lane. It's gone down here, and the racks are exposed. That range racks took a lot of damage, so the Zeus, they have to jump back. They want to defend this the base here. And VP, that was the opening they needed, that breathing room that they needed.
Oh, we are getting to a point when we're gonna have multiple level 25 talents. The Necro is also level 30. Spectre and the Zeus both very close. Spectre, of course, a lot closer. Zeus still needs that full level, but that is gonna be insane. Spectre, Illusion's doing even more damage. Already, Klim Sani4's damage is off the charts, but it is gonna be increasing significantly in the next couple of minutes if this game doesn't end.
Does it end in the next couple of minutes? I'm looking at it. I mean, we still have tier 3 for both sides. The racks aren't down apart from in the mid lane for the Radiant. This game, I couldn't pick a winner if you put a gun to my head.
Is that gonna help if somebody puts a gun to your head so that you pick a winner?
Well, it's like, you have to make a choice. And I couldn't do it.
Kill me.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Just kill me.
Just kill me. Yeah. Don't make me choose. Don't make me put effort in.
Yeah, with only a minute left on these buybacks, there's no way that Virtus.pro are winning this game, right?
You think?
In the duration of these buybacks.
Not
overall. Yeah, right. So it is most likely going to be the next Roche with 10 buybacks available and a huge fight. There are always chances that games like this are ended in one fight, one big mistake gets made, and then you get ran down. But the thing is, there's so many defensive capabilities as well as offensive capabilities on both sides that even if the chase is on with good chase amount on both sides, it doesn't mean that you're getting every single kill and every single buyback.
And yeah, you can see the wards going down. We're getting late game wards that are just constantly being picked off. So like you say, they have to get more and more creative because gems on both sides just means that if you're not putting them in an area where people don't expect them, just straight up dewarded so quickly. And now FNG charges right forward, clears through the creeps. The illusions now as well. Zeus has his shard, right? Yeah, I mean, everybody has a shard. Everyone has the abilities that come with that. And just the right clicks from the illusions, because the Zeus is... it's like a hybrid, right? He's not got the Moonshard, but he's got himself the Manta style, he's got himself the Kyron Sanj, so he's got a little bit of survivability, he's got the attack speed coming through, he's got the illusions attacks as well, and this is just how it looks like he's going to try and clear through the enemies, is just constantly bombard them with the Arc Lightning.
Respect caught, or no, immediately as somebody finds him, the TPs are gonna come through, because now you have bots on almost everybody on the map.
Well, FNG is away, took a lot of damage. It was a bit of an investment for that though. Was that the Haunt? It was the Haunt, not just the Shadow Step. The Haunt to try and get him. There was the Nimbus coming out there as well, and Dominic just trying to do what he can with it. Again, the split off coming through. Thunder God's Wrath gets used here just as a scouting tool, it looks like. Maybe trying to finish a job somewhere. But for now, everybody is going to be able to survive through this one. And yeah, okay, a bit of an investment there from Klim, but they have refreshers, they have the extra spells, so it wasn't a total waste for them to use those.
Helm of the Dominator on the Brewmaster. So what he's trying to do is just split up the enemies, get in their base, and kill the Araxes with the split. Also, he's working towards an Aghanim Scepter, so once he has that, it's going to be even easier for him to actually apply pressure onto the enemy base.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but he was using a Hill Troll Priest just outside of the base, outside of the Radiant base, like you say, to get that opening, to get the TPs too around. I think it was the last Roche fight now. They're going to jump in onto Violent. Violent, what's he going to be able to do here? Does he survive through the Hex? He gets the time lapse off, but he's still taking so much damage. Look at it! More. Is he going to be able to get the refresh? But again, where's his teammates? He's just taking so much damage. Violent, he finally gets out Soulbind though. Chase out Violent. He is just praying that he lives. Just get me out. Get me out.
Turn back time. No. Turn it again. It's not enough. It's not enough. The thing is also that the second time that he turned back time, he didn't go back to full HP as well. It's very hard to calculate when you're using two of them in quick succession to where you're gonna be brought back to. So it is definitely not ideal, but he gets himself away, saves his buyback, and there is gonna be 10 heroes alive for the next Roche if nobody dies in the next 2 minutes, of course.
Yeah, you could just see that he was hitting some major deja vu there, right? It's like, oh, I'm dying, but I'm gonna go to time ups. No, wait, I'm dying. And the Brewmaster once again just trying to use the split to try and push in. It's a little bit of damage, but it was, on the range racks, it wasn't enough to take it down here. And because we've got FNG with a charge, is it worth trying to use the Spirit Breaker to split push? Because you've got an open racks on both the top and the bottom. In fact, they might have the lockdown here onto the Muerta. They have the Reaper Scythe. They don't have the Reaper Scythe kill, but they do get it with FNG in the end, and the Muerta does have a buyback.
Yeah, the level 25 magic resistance talent on Muerta really did help him survive the Reaper Scythe. Of course, in the end, you're still gonna go down, but at least you're not giving the extra regen and, well, consequently, a extra damage to the Necro, as he does have the Aghanim Scepter. Now he bought a Hex, but he doesn't know what to do. He's 8 slotted, or 9 slotted if you count in the Aghanim Scepter.
I guess you do what everyone has to do and just buy a Moonshot.
Yeah, for everybody else, because it doesn't really do anything for you. Just buy it for the Weaver.
Yeah, buy it for the Weaver, buy it for the Spirit Breaker maybe as well. The right-click bashes are fairly nice. The
Spirit Breaker is rich as well, Rob. So I don't think he needs any help. He has 10,000 gold at the moment, and not really sure where to go with his items. So we'll see actually what he decides. Also has the Aghanim Scepter Blessing. Ethan, he has the Shard. That Shard he got very early on. I think the first Tormentor actually went towards the Spirit Breaker.
Necrophos queuing up the Moonshot. Don't know who he's going to give it to.
Weaver. It has to be the Weaver.
You'd imagine so, yeah. How is Weaver looking in terms of just... Okay, yeah. Rapier. Just wants a Rapier. They have to be quick on this Roshan, though. Everyone's going to be coming over the horn.
Strong.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's pretty powerful here, and in fact, they might be able to get here. You've got Dominic on that Storm Panda. Thundergod's Wrath comes through. They scout this one out. Roshan's down to about half health. Do they want to try and commit onto this one? Notice he's going to try and play bouncing towards the Roche pit on the backlines as well. FNG dives himself in. It's going to be with the refresh. He gets that charge up onto the Grimstroke. The Grimstroke is going to be dead, but it has that buyback, and it is going to be on nighttime, so it's going to be the shard, the outpost on the Dire side that they can TP to. Chira Jr. just has to run himself away.
He has bots too.
Yeah, he's getting himself in. The Wind Waker comes out now from the Spirit Breaker. He's going to be able to come right back down with the Bulldoze, but there is going to be the Soulbind here as well. Another Wind Waker comes out. Violent, what's he going to be able to do in terms of damage? He's just stacking it up in the middle of everybody. Thundergod's Wrath gets used once again. Everybody's still looking pretty darn healthy. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do too much now because everybody is grouped up. Squadix, he's got the Reaper Scythe, going to be able to throw it out. Do they get the kill? They take down the Grimstroke, and now the chase is onto this Zeus. They get the kill on the backlines. Munkushi's going to go down. Sweden Strong, Violent on the backlines. Chira Jr., can he get himself away from this one? He's just trying his best. He's got that Heavenly Jump. Once again, the stun comes out. The slow one to notice now again. But on the backlines, it chases the forwards. The Sweden Strong is going to be able to get those force boots. Did he get the kill? Ooh, Zeus, he's trying to run himself away from this one. The blink forward. Squadix is going to be able to get it now. And it looks like they might be able to go into Sweden Strong as well. He's going to be able to refresh and get another BKB out. But the Reichl's coming out from the Weaver. And it's just going to be way too much. They pick up... I lost track of the kills and the buybacks. I lost track of absolutely everything there. But they're going to be able to get themselves right back into the pit. The Reichl's coming through. I wonder if the Weaver just straight up buys this Rapier from the shop.
5 people died on the side of Klim Sani4, but the Brewmaster did live. So there was a buyback on the Spectre and the Grimstroke, and the Grimstroke died again, the Spectre did not. It was pretty much apparent in that fight that Spectre doesn't have the focus damage necessary to bring down these heroes. Muerta, however, does, but she doesn't have the tankiness to go deep inside of the fight. And it just goes to show Virtus.pro in this game, in terms of team fight. They're always going to be stronger, and we've gotten to a point in the game where Klim Sani4 cannot just focus on split pushing and getting heroes one by one, and that's why we're seeing Virtus.pro winning these fights over and over again and finding the right openings. But of course, it all comes down to the Spirit Breaker. This is such a huge part of their lineup for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, and now they've got an opening here, VP, with no Grimstroke for the next 40 seconds. Dominic's going to go for the split, trying to defend the base here, and BKBs, they're all coming back up. You've got 14,000 gold on Squadix, and nothing really for him to buy. He could buy his teammates, what's yeah, nearly 10k, just benefiting from the gold here, but they are trying to break the space. The top lane, while that fight was going on, the creeps pushed in. Look at the FNG, he's going to go right back into this now as well. Squadix trying to back him up. FNG taking a lot of damage though. Do they have the damage? There's going to be the Reaper side coming through. It's not going to be enough to get the kill onto Munkushi, and now the Weaver's in as well. Valen, he has that Rapier, he has the Aegis. Aegis is going to be popped now. Gets a Satanic out. Is he going to be able to get it in time? Yeah, he's got no BKB. He's already sold that one off, and he's going to be taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have the time unless he's dead. Rapier's on the deck. Who picks it up now? And the chase is on. They're going to be able to get onto Saush. Saush trying to get himself away. Squadix, he has to do it the old-fashioned way, trying to walk himself out of the damage. The refreshing comes out. Thunder God's Wrath is going to be thrown out as well. Chira Jr. bought back, and he's going to be right back into this fight. You've got the chase on the sidelines, and FNG trying to do his best to keep himself alive. There's going to be the Soulbind coming through. Necrophos, though, can he survive through this one? He is going to be dead.
Unnecessary move from Virtus.pro. They went in for the jugular. The thing is, you have the Rapier, you can jump in with the Weaver with that Swift Blink and take care of the Raxes in mere seconds. But you decide, no, we're gonna crush them right here, right now. We have all the tools, and you did not have them. The thing is, in a good position, Klim Sani4, their heroes still do insane amounts of damage, and they cleaned up that fight. 16.5k damage coming out from the Zeus, but also even more impressive, 13k from Muerta, just finishing people off.
Yep, and now Muerta has a Rapier. The buybacks have to come through now. I think this is going to be the do-or-die fight here for the side of VP. Chase forward as well. You're going to have the Phantom coming back, but charge onto the Grimstroke. Inkwell, he's got that Wind Waker to get himself away from this one. The Colin comes in. Really good jump by Notice. Can they get the kills? It's going to be the buybacks from absolutely everybody here. They need the kill on Sweden Strong. They're going to be able to get the kill onto Dominic. He is going to go down there. It looks like the Squadix just being in the fight and taking him down with a Heartstop Aurora. Sweden Strong, he's got that Silver Edge. Going to be able to get himself away. Holds onto the Rapier still, and now the push is coming in. The Spectre, he wants to be here. Still 39 seconds without the Weaver. How long can they push this one on? The buyback comes in from Dominic, and it looks like they might try and force this one on. Split in 4 seconds now. FNG, they're trying to hold on to these tier 4 towers while the creeps push into both side lanes here. So if they can hold this base long enough, I mean, there's a tier 4 tower down already in the Dire base. If they can hold this base long enough, they might be able to just let the creeps end this game for them here. Squadix trying to do what he can. Look at the damage he's taking.
Destroying them.
Muerta, yeah, with a Pierce of Veil, it doesn't matter if you're in the Ghost Shroud, you're still going to be taking the right-click damage. She right-clicks right through it now. It's going to be the jump in, but they get the lockdown onto Muerta. The Reaver side comes down as well. They get the kill. Rapier on the deck, and the Weaver's going to be coming back alive in the next 7 seconds. Do they have the damage? It's going to be the toss-up into Chira Jr. Chira Jr. trying to hide himself in the trees, but he looks like he's going to be locked down and killed off. Do they have the damage? They have that lockdown. Charge comes in. They have the kill onto the Zeus and the Weaver. He picks that Rapier right back up the tier 4 towers in the Dire base. They are taking so much damage, down to 900, and that's the last tier 4. And this is a big opening. No Zeus, no Muerta for the next 100 or so seconds. They've got all 5 heroes. They've used their buyback. I think this is VP. They want to end the game here and now.
Sweden Strong saw the win there. He's like, I killed the Necro now, and it is over. And it just doesn't happen. Necro, and then he uses the refresher and both of the Reaper sight on the Muerta. He had 25% HP missing, and the double Reaper sight just cuts him down to half, and it is just over. He had so much damage. He had 16 stacks, or 16% damage increased by the Pierce the Veil stacks from the shard as well. So imagine how much damage he was doing with 700 base damage there in terms of magic damage, and he was destroying Squadix, but it wasn't enough. He barely survived, and now this game 1 will finally be over.
Coming into 84 minutes into game number 1, fortification is going to be used. You can see that Klim Sani4 is going to hold on for dear life here, and it's going to be coming through. We've even got the Centaur Warren. He's got that card behind him now. Jumping by Munkushi, going to try and do the damage. Soulbind's out, but the time lapse onto Violent. Violent, he's still taking so much right-click damage. He's going to be able to end the game with the right-clicks, and there's nothing that Klim can do here. It's going to be the GG well played. 84 minutes and 34, 27 kills to 41, and a 31k net worth lead here for VP. They swings, it was snakes and ladders all the way through the fights, but VP, they finally end the game.
They do manage to do it. The thing is, without the Muerta, you do not have that focus fire to bring down heroes like the Weaver. The Zeus, the Spectre, both of these heroes are doing insane amounts. The type that finishes people off. And then with Muerta being dead, you just focus on the throne. Of course, even if they hadn't focused on the throne there, but on the heroes, they most likely still would have won the game. But this was definitely the biggest nail biter than you and me have casted for now in the qualifiers. And yesterday we said, oh, we didn't get any 70-minute games. Now we have gotten ourselves the longest game of the qualifier here in Eastern Europe, and Virtus.pro will come out victorious. Klim Sani4, though, they had a grasp of what they needed to do in this game for a very long time. The thing is, a couple of times they've lost the idea, they went for a team fight, and that is what allowed Virtus.pro to crawl back into the game and ultimately win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Klim, no disrespect to them. They looked absolutely amazing here, and Virtus.pro were able to clutch it out in the end. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Klim are going to be able to play in events going forward. Hell, I'm looking forward to how they're going to play in the second game here, and we'll not keep you waiting long, guys. We're going to jump out to a break, and then we'll be right back for Virtus.pro versus Klim Sani4, game number 2. We'll see you after this break.